So listen to this. What if you had a life free of UTIs? It would be a happy moment and so joyous and so satisfying. What are UTIs? UTIs stand for urinary tract infection. Urinary tract is the pathway through which urine flows through. It starts from the kidneys and it flows through two tubes to the bladder where urine is stored. Those two tubes are called ureters. And after the ureter, you have the urethra, and the urethra is the connection between the bladder and urine comes out of the urethra. So, so the infections which might occur along that path, along that channel of the body, they are what we call the urinary tract infections. Mostly they are bacteria, they are viruses, they are protozoas, and sometimes fungal infections. So, how can you counter these infections? So, one of the things is that you drop sugar. You drop sugar in all forms, in fruits, in the manufactured form, in the natural form, and you'll be out of the infection. And these are the things which you might not be told by your doctor, perhaps, because most of the time, sugar is not the sugar we know, and sugar is not what we assume we know because even most of the foods we consume, they are manufactured and they are metabolized by our bodies to give sugar, like something like rice. Rice is metabolized to give sugar as the end product. So when you minimize your carbohydrates, your starches, you are safe from the UTIs. So the other thing is that you dry your innerwears in the sun because when you dry them in the bathroom, inside the bathroom, they are tend to grow some molding, and that molding is what is fungi growing inside your inner clothes. And when they come into contact with your private parts, alas, urinary tract infection UTI, and especially the yeast type of the UTIs. The other simple mechanism to prevent these UTIs is to wipe your private parts, especially for the ladies, from front to back. And that is a simple technique. And on the same note, when you go to the public toilets, avoid being splashed by that water in the basin so that you might avoid this infection because that water might be infected. And the most infection which comes from toilet basin is the Escherichia coli, that is the E. coli. That is the bacteria which is found in poop. So when the bacteria which is found in poop enters the urinary tract area is when you develop UTI. And mostly is a protozoa. So sometimes urinary tract is when poop enters in the urine pathway, and that's where you have UTI. So the other thing is to treat the contact person, the person who is ailing from the infection, because you might be treating the partner, you might be treating the lady, but the mzee comes and returns the infection inside there again. You treat the lady once again, the mzee, his work is to return the infection. So you have to treat the contact person, the contact partner, so that the infection might be eradicated. The other thing is drink a lot of water, and with that water, make sure it is a bit, make your urine to be a bit acidic, so that bacteria do not love acidic environment. They run away just like in the stomach where there is H. pylori does not like concentrated acid. So the same way in the urine, you can introduce some acidity by taking water with salt because salt has sodium and it has chlorine. So when the chloride part enters into your body, it is more likely to be in an acidic medium. So your bacteria will fear away the acidity medium and it will escape. So take some water with salt. And the other thing, you can take some drugs which are acidifiers of the urine. And these drugs are all over the chemist, and they are very cheap, and you can introduce them to your urinary tract area. One example of those drugs is the drug called urosol, which acidifies and puts an which acidifies and put an unfavorable environment for the bacteria and the organisms which bring UTIs in your urinary tract. The other thing is for those ladies who have infections just before their menses or after their menses, they should take some preventive drugs, and one of the drugs is fluconazole. The other thing is prevention, which is better than treatment. How can you prevent this through what you eat and what you take through your mouth? Sometimes you can do some probiotics, and there is this product which is common in our supermarket, probiotic yogurt. It might be a good idea, but when you put a probiotic in a sugary media and with some preservatives, you might kill the benefit of that probiotic. So for the supermarket based probiotic, I don't think there is so much to do with important probiotic because they have introduced flavorants, they have introduced food colors, they have introduced preservatives and some emulsifiers. So, and sugar, at the end of the day, as we have said, sugar is enemy to contributing to UTIs. So avoid the supermarket yogurt. You can make yogurt at home. You can make maziwa mala. You can make fermented uji. You can make kefir, which are available in our stores. You can make kombucha, which are good yeast, which creates an unfavorable environment for UTIs to survive in your system. The final thing, you can also take the probiotic drugs. Like for the women, there is Herbalife, Femiflora. You take them after a course of treatment with antibiotics. You take a course of probiotic to return the good bacteria because antibiotics they kill both the good and the bad bacteria. When you take antibiotic over the counter in the pharmacy or when you go to a doctor, he prescribes antibiotics. They will kill both the good and the bad bacteria. So UTI crops in over and over again. You realize you are treating over and over again, but it keeps on recurring back. So have a culture of taking probiotics because they are very important to your system. Either the artificial one or the one which you make at your kitchen, they are the best. The final thing and the most important factor, avoid antibiotics because they will kill both the good and the bad bacteria. And you know there is something we call the flora. That is the normal flora in the either in the vaginal area, in the urethra in men. That flora has to have bacteria, and that bacteria acts as the guards, the gatekeepers in the vagina. So when you take antibiotics, they kill the gatekeepers, they kill the guards, and UTIs comes to thrive there. So with that, let's be UTI free and let's take a glass of water with salt.